Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode, and we are in my living room. Well, actually, this is mine and my wife's house. Just recently got married, so I haven't uploaded videos that much, but it was a good wedding, great honeymoon, and then when we came back, the seasons changed. And when the seasons changed, that means the fishing changed. Unfortunately, it's now wintertime around here. It's like 40 degrees every morning, like sustaining 40 degrees, 50 degrees, a couple days in the like 60s, but mostly around 40 to 50s. Now, wintertime can be a good fishing time and a bad fishing time because of your fall period or your fall transition where bass like to feed up on bait fish like shad or other small bait fish in order to get fat for the wintertime, because we all know during the wintertime, bass come very lethargic. Even though the bass come lethargic, other wintertime fish come out to eat. Now around here we have just one little pond that stocks a very delicious species of winter fish, and that is rainbow trout. Some of the areas that I've googled around here don't really have stocker ponds, and we don't live high enough in the mountains to actually go to a nice creek and try to get fresh stocker fish out of there or actual real fish native to that area. But luckily there is one pond around here that has stocker trout pond, and they are delicious. And today I'm going to show you, well, this is part one of kind of a two-part video. Today I'm going to show you kind of the rod, the reel, and the line setup, and types of baits I use to go out and catch these little stocker trout. So I'm going to kind of breeze through this first part, but not really. I'm not going to give too in-depth, kind of an in-depth instructional video. I'm just going to kind of briefly show you guys what I use and how I use it. So we'll start off with my rod. So I got my rod here. This is a Daiwa. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is a Daiwa rod. It's a Daiwa Samurai rod. And this little rod is only, let's see here, it's 5'6". It's a light lure. It's pretty much ultra light because its rating per pound is 2 to 10 pound test. You can tell that it's super sensitive by how much that tip really bends. But you really need that bend because the trout are the floppiest fish in the world, and you really need that sensitive tip in order to have that abrasion, to have that recoil when they start flopping around. Now the line I use is 8 pound test fluorocarbon. 10 or 8 pound test fluorocarbon is really what you want to go. You don't want something too heavy, you don't want something too light. Anything less than 8 pounds can get kind of it frays up easy, and it's too light and it snaps when those trout really start flopping around. Now, as far as the hooks and baits and all that, there's a couple different tactics that you can use when catching these trout. To start out with the simplest bait that you can use, you can either go with the most common setup that probably any fisherman or any angler has ever used and probably ever start out with, and that is the old night crawler, hook, and bobber setup. I got some night crawlers in the fridge right now. They're going to chill until tomorrow morning, but the usual night crawler and hook and line setup. And the thing about with trout is you have, look, ultralight tackle. This is all I'm going to take with me tomorrow. It's got all my hooks, all my baits, and all different types of lures that I'm going to use that's going to be in this box. Aside from some artificial baits I'm going to show you guys here in a second, but this is pretty much my entire tackle setup for catching these trout. Now, to kind of break down what's inside of this, pop it open real quick, we'll see what we got inside. Like I said, the first one is your usual hook and night crawler or red worm setup. There are two different types of hook. I usually like to go with a size 4, just a little hook just like that, a size 4 bait holder hook, just a hook on that night crawler, and you're going to use these small hooks in order to mush the bait around your hook in a different form with another artificial bait that I have over here. Another thing that I have seen people use trout is your classic inline spinners. Now that is, excuse my cold voice, the wintertime has gotten to my symptoms and my sickness, but anyway, so like I said, inline spinner. This is what the usual bait that probably comes in like most tackle boxes out there, but basically you just have your little rooster tail or inline spinner, whatever you want to call it, little treble hook on a feather, and this can represent pretty much any like little bait fish in the pond. White is really good to go to during the fall time, even with trout, because it represents bait fish. And then if you have like darker water or anything, I got a couple different ones here. I'll show y'all. I got a black and a chartreuse one just in case the water's murky. It has a gold blade instead of a silver blade like the white one, and then I have a trout colored one, both orange and green. That way it's got that brightness and darkness. Also works in murky and clean water, and it also has the gold inline spinner bait. Now for another bait that I have not used, but I have seen other fishermen use, is the old jerk bait. I've seen jerk bait work on like natural creek fed trout. I'm not sure it's going to work on these stalker trout, but I'm going to give it a try this year. I got a different couple techniques like the inline spinner. I've never used. I tried it last year. I got hung up and it broke off like with my first couple casts. But this year I'm going to use the inline spinner and the jerk bait. This is just like a little minnow jerk bait. It's a little Rapala jerk bait. It goes. This is a spinning one, so it's going to float there, and its depth is about 4 to 6 feet, which that's about the medium to deep range on this like little styro pond, because I believe that the deepest part of this pond is like 8 feet to 10 feet, but it's nothing more than 10 feet. Now another very interesting bait that I have never used, but I have seen work in a mountain lake trout scenario, is this little guy. It is like a minnow imitation. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a minnow imitation on an inline spinner. Its actual name is like the Comet Minnow or Rocket Minnow, something like that. But we're going to give this guy a try and see how the trout like that. Again, just like a little minnow. And it's got these like little treble hooks on the end and right here for them trout to hook onto. Now when it comes to artificial bait, or more or less power bait, artificial bait, there are multiple options you can go with. They didn't have what I got last year, but pretty much power bait is one of the go-tos when catching trout. Corn flavored, I think personally, is the best one to use, because I pretty much used almost a whole jar of the corn flavored ones last year. This year I got the Berkeley power bait. This is just like an original scent. I got this one, and then I got these little corn balls, pretty much corn scented balls, another power bait. And then from last year I have, these are still pretty good and they're still pretty squishy. I think they still got some good scent. These are just some original trout nuggets. And then I got these corn flavored trout eggs. They're a little different this year, but I think that these might work pretty well, because according to last year, trout love corn, and if I don't love corn, I got night crawlers and I got moving baits, so I'm gonna try to figure these trout out. Now with these baits, these are all four of these I just showed you, they are all floating baits, which means you have to Carolina rig. Hello, Bowser. I'm trying to film a video for these people about how to catch trout, and you are just doing what you want to do. Like I was saying, with those four baits, they're actually floating baits, so you have to Carolina rig them. If you're unfamiliar how to Carolina rig, there are like tons of YouTube videos on it, but what I do, basically you have two lines. You have your main line, which is going to be on your reel, and you have that spooled up to your leader line, which I have 2 leader lines right here. I usually go with 4-pound test fluorocarbon leader line, or I have some 12-pound test fluorocarbon leader line. Either one will work fine. I used 4-pound last year. The biggest trout in the pond was probably like 2.5 or 3 pounds, but the 4-pound line held up. I had to retie probably every 3 to 4 trout that I caught, just because trout flop around so much. Alright, like I said in the beginning, this is like a 2-part video. Part 1 is going to take place here inside my house, in my nice warm house, and tomorrow is going to take place at the cold little stalker pond. And when we get out there, I'll show you guys how I kind of work the bait around the hook, because there's a certain way that you can either hook these on the hook, baits like this where they're already kind of like in pre-clumps really, or when you have like the original bait like this, you basically just got to take a little ball of it and mash it around the hook and throw it out there, let it hang, let it dangle, and wait for the trout to bite. But I have that set up, and I just have a regular spinning rod set up, and that's already packed away. It's all good. That's going to be my night crawler setup, and then that's probably going to be my moving bait setup as well. But like I said, 2-part video. Today takes place here, and tomorrow takes place at the pond. So I'll catch you guys at the pond. Let's go. Alright guys, we're here at the pond to make this intro kind of short. I almost forgot my worms this morning. I had to go into the office and buy some worms, but I got my night crawlers and all my baits. I'm like the second person here, so I'm going down to the pond, rig some stuff up, and I'll catch you guys down there. Let's get to it. Finally got one. Whew, finally got one. Oh, first trout. These guys are strong as heck. First trout of the day. Pretty little guy. Finally got one. Been here for like an hour. Finally got one. Hopefully this is the juice today. They don't like the corn, but these little trout nuggets are coming in handy. There's a guy down there. He's using some pretty bright bait. I noticed that, so I switched up these, and I finally got my first trout. I'm trying to go for at least 4 today, so. Alright, welcome back, guys. Obviously you're at my house now. The morning went not as expected. I caught that one trout that you guys seen, and then after that I spent like 30 minutes freezing in like 40-degree weather with like 20-degree wind. It was terrible. Then one guy beside me was slinging trout left and right. Like, I swear, every other cast he had a trout on. I was getting pissed off. I was like, are you serious, man? Just leave and leave me to my sorrows. But whatever. He was actually pretty cool because he came back and he gave me the bait that he was using. And he's like, hey man, get a leader, tie a little bit on, and slow drag in the bottom. Get him every time. And that's what he was doing. And that's what worked. It was a Carolina rig, just slowly dragged it. So I took a little bit. He had actually garlic scented versus my corn scented stuff. So actually that stuff worked better. But I actually used all of his on my last trout that I caught. I used just the usual trout nuggets that you guys saw in the little bait video yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the trout that I got today. I'm gonna clean them off a little bit. They're kind of bloody. I'm gonna clean them off a little bit. I'm gonna lay them out, and I'm gonna show you guys how I clean them. I'm only gonna clean one. I did catch 6, but I'm only gonna clean one. I'm gonna kind of speed through the process, but I'm gonna break down pretty much how to clean a trout. Super easy, super simple. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so here are the trout that I caught. I weighed out at 4.3 pounds. As you can tell, these are kind of the skinny ones over here, and this is probably the biggest one of the day, probably weighing a little bit over a pound. But I'm gonna go ahead and just clean one of these. I'm gonna show you guys how I do one. I'm gonna kind of speed through the rest. But let's do it. I'm gonna apologize in advance for the wind noise. I'm obviously outside, and it's a windy day, obviously. But I'll show you how to clean these trout. So cleaning trout is actually one of the easiest fish to clean. All you really need, there are a couple ways to clean them. All you really need, they're slippery too, so watch out. All you need is a good sharp fillet knife and your awesome trout. But obviously, you start down here, and pretty much the butthole, you pretty much start in the booty of it. And you make a small little slit, you take it and you cut all the way up into the throat area, like so. There are a couple different ways you can do this. You can either chop the head clean off, or you can make it like a little incision right here behind the head, just like that. Basically, you can kind of get this all in one clean thing. You take the head, and pretty much you can just snap the head clean off. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then with that, since that little incision, then pretty much you just take the guts out all in one shot, throw that in your guts, and you pretty much have your clean trout. Watch out, Bowser. I got my dog out here too. Anyway, you clean off your trout. As you can tell, pretty much clean. That's nice, white, clean meat. But as you notice, that dark line, that is what's called the blood line. You don't want that. So what you do, you basically just take your finger and you just push it all along that line, and you push all that out into your gut. You get as much out as you can with your fingernail. You give it a little rinse off again, and then there you have it. Nice, clean, delicious trout. See how clean that is, see how white that is. The bloodline's gone for the most part of it. I got some still down there, but that's okay. That'll fry out. Basically, and then when you cook it, trout have a ton of ribs. As you can tell, you can see all those little ribs in there. Yeah, that's not fun to fillet at all. I recommend not filleting trout. What you do is you just lay this in your pan just like this. You stuff this full of butter, whatever seasoning you like. I like to use a little bit of butter. I throw a little bit of that lemon pepper, like fish seasoning in here. Just a little bit of that. You can even sprinkle some on the skin. You can cut off the tail and the fins if you want. It doesn't really matter. Some people eat them as chips, but basically that's how you clean trout. Super simple, super easy. This is like the part 2. This is pretty much going to be a 3-part video because part 3 is going to be the actual cooking. I got to get these clean today. I got to work tonight. I'll be gone with my wife and her family tomorrow for little brother's birthday. We'll be doing that pretty much all day. And then Monday, I'll show you guys how I cook these. But I appreciate you guys watching this. Hopefully, you're enjoying this trout series. I plan on going back to the trout pond many times more. I'll probably film actually how I catch them this time. It was just, it got too cold today, and I wasn't catching that much, and I was like, man, this is not going to be a good video. But it actually turned out being pretty great once God gave me that secret bait. But anyways, yep. So next time I see you guys, I'll be in the kitchen cooking these trout. Let's do it. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the cooking portion of this video. It has been a hot minute since I have showed you guys how to clean it, whatnot. Work got busy and all that stuff. But tonight we're going to cook up a trout. I'm going to show you guys how I do it. I apologize for any lighting or audio things. I'm in the kitchen and this is the best I can do. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so things that I like to use. Obviously, trout. We did the trout, just head cut off, and I just cleaned out the guts in the cleaning portion of the video, which you guys have already watched. There is a way, I did learn this recently, there is a way that if you have a good enough sized trout, from this point you actually can fillet it by going down the spine, and then kind of like fillet it like normal fish. You just lift it up and you just cut away from the backbones. However, this is a smaller sized trout. I'm not going to mess around with all that. I probably would butcher it. So this is the way I like to do it. This is the way that I can get the most meat out of it, and I think this is the best way to do this. So things you'll need. You can use whatever seasoning that you like. I like to use a little bit of Italian seasoning and, of course, lemon pepper, which tastes great on all fish. And, of course, you'll need a whole entire stick of butter. No, I'm just kidding. For the trout, you're actually going to use about a tablespoon of butter. Just cut off a little tablespoon, and we're going to shove that inside. And we're going to actually put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter in our pan, which we're going to cook up here in a minute. I just don't want to do it while I'm doing this because the butter will overheat and it'll burn and it'll be a bad taste. But use 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter in your pan, or you can use olive oil, you can use any type of oil, or just regular pan, whatever you want to use. I think adding butter adds more flavor, and if you use olive oil, of course it adds more flavor as well. But I'm going to show you guys how I season this. Actually super simple, so let's get to it. Alright, first thing I do, obviously, I had to thaw out this trout for about an hour in cold water. If your trout is frozen, just let it sit in cold water for like about 30-45 minutes, and it will be good to go. But I patted this down some just because it has a slime coat, and when trout have a slime coat, I just wash that off because that's not good to eat. So I just washed that off, and I dabbed them down a little bit, so now it's all good to season up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add Italian seasoning, and what you want to do, try to get this in here, what you want to do is you just want to open the trout up and just sprinkle a little bit of that Italian seasoning up in there. Or not Italian, but lemon pepper seasoning, and just rub it. Make sure you get it all on the inside, all up on that inner meat. Dab a little bit more. If you hear my dog walking around, you know he's just doing him. But once you get that seasoned, then you can throw a little bit of your Italian seasoning in the center. Just sprinkle that right in the center, right on that meat. Get it nice and seasoned. And you can even season the outside. We're not going to eat the skin. When you cook trout the right way, the skin will pretty much fall off. Like when it starts to get done, the skin will actually kind of swell up, and it'll actually kind of break itself off from the actual meat. But anyway, so we got this whole trout nice and seasoned up. I'm gonna try to wash my hands off real quick so you guys get a view on this. But we got this trout all nice and seasoned up. As you can tell, the inside of this trout is beautifully seasoned, I would say. And like I said, what you want to do is just take a tablespoon of butter, just cut it off like that. Probably like less than a tablespoon, but I do about a tablespoon, just a little bit of butter, just like this. And basically, we're just going to shove, we're actually going to cut this guy in half. Scratch what I said about a tablespoon. Do half a tablespoon. If you have 2 trout, use the whole tablespoon. For just 1 little small trout, you're just good with a little sliver of butter, just basically like this. And you just put this guy literally right inside. You kind of pinch him shut, and that's going to help keep all that flavor in the inside of this trout. Alright, I'm going to get this butter started. I'm going to heat it up, and I'm going to show you guys how to cook this. Alright, so our butter's pretty much melted. It's got a little sizzle going into it, so we're going to go ahead and lay our trout nice and flat. Make sure to keep that butter seal nice inside there. We're going to lay our trout nice and flat inside the pan right there on the center. Now, I don't know if you guys can already see this, but as you can maybe tell, the trout is already starting to swell up. I usually do this, I do it for about maybe like 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And then, like I said, you can tell the trout gets done by when you can literally, you can take a fork. You'll be able to take a fork and you'll literally be able to just peel back the skin and you'll see nice fresh white meat. So let this trout cook up and yeah, just pretty much just wait till it's done. Alright, enjoy this crispy B-roll. You'll be able to tell when the trout is done, basically when you lift up the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and fry this trout up, about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and flavor it. The trout is cooked and done, and yeah, I know I have literally 1 trout on my plate with no sides. That's because it's late at night right now. This is kind of like a late night snack for me, as I already had a dinner when I came home from the gym today. But I needed to finish this vlog for you guys and show you guys how to cook some delicious trout. So let's taste this son of a gun. Like I said, you can tell when your trout is done. Yes, I eat my fish with ketchup. It's delicious that way. I also eat it plain, depending on what the fish is. But anyway, like I said, you can literally just peel this skin right off. Like that's how you know it's done, and you have all this nice white meat. Like I said in the other cleaning portion, you could cut off these fins. Sometimes they fall off when they're frying. Sometimes they don't. Doesn't really matter. But let's get to the tasting part. The best part about trout is it's so simple. Like you can literally just peel this. This is how you know that you cooked it the right way. Is you can literally just peel it right off just like that. You have this nice white flaky meat. Hopefully there are no little bones in here. There shouldn't be, if any, because it literally just peels right off the bone. So we're just going to give it a little taste test. Yep, that's delicious. 100%. No bones at all in that piece. That's the best part about trout. Oh, take that back. 1 bone. But that is the best part about trout. Like, watch this. Literally, you can either take your fork and kind of work it in between the ribs and just kind of peel the meat away. Like this, the top part's really easy because it's just kind of like 1 chunk, so you can just kind of peel it off in little chunks like this. Like it'll literally just falls right off the bone, And then you can get to this bottom part, and you can literally just peel it on back, and you have these nice. You might have to pick out like a few ribs here and there, but for the most part, when trout is done properly, like I have done here, it just falls right off the bone, and then you can literally take the rib cage just like this and peel it all the way out of the fish, just like so. And you just set that aside, and basically, really, you don't have to worry about any bones. You have a delicious white flaky fillet here. You have nice chunks over here.
Like I said, you might have to peel out like one or two like little bones, but for the most part, super easy fish to clean. I cooked it up, like I said, 3 to 4 minutes each side. I'm gonna taste some more of this because this is so good. Yep. Like I said, 3 to 4 minutes each side. Just wait. You'll see the fish kind of start to like swell up, and then as you flip it over from side to side, you'll notice the skin will start to literally detach itself from the trout, and then that's how you know it's getting done. Once the skin starts to detach itself, like I said, give it about another minute on each side just to make sure the meat is done. It cooks up real quick, so you don't really gotta worry about it. And then just throw it on your plate and peel off rib cage and enjoy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoyed this like little catch, clean, and cook little series. I'm gonna go back to that trout pond. I'm gonna try to go back to it. It's usually best to go when the stockings happen, because right after stocking, you can usually catch like the dumb ones that will pretty much eat anything you throw in there. But this time it was being picky, and the trout were only eating the garlic bait that guy gave me. But I'm gonna enjoy this trout. I'm just gonna enjoy this trout and probably go to bed after this because I'm already super full. But gonna pass out, have a nice trout meal. And you guys, like I said, if you like this type of content, make sure to like it, drop a like down below, drop a comment. What's your favorite type of way that you fry fish and or trout? And then make sure to subscribe. I appreciate the view. Yeah. See you guys next time. Peace. Here, Bowser. You want a piece? See? Even Bowser likes it. So that way you know it's good. Alright. See you guys next time. Guys, I just got the biggest fish in my life on this rattle trap. Oh my god, come on. Get out of the sticks, get out of the sticks. Get out of the sticks, get out of the sticks. Come on, girl. Come on, girl, she's rattled in the sticks. Come on, girl. Come on in. Come on in. Oh, there she is, right there. Come on, baby, come on. Oh, she spit it. Oh, she got a lodge, too. Oh, whew. Oh my god, guys. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, she got it just right in her throat. Okay. Don't you flop. Don't you flop. I don't even care if you get a hook in my hand. Freaking yo-yoing this. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. I gotta get her. I gotta get these out before she... Calm down. Calm down. I gotta get it out. It's barely in there. Don't flop. Don't flop. Don't flop. Oh my god. Yes. Look at this behemoth. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I don't want to keep her out of the water too long. I just want to get a weight on her. See if I can do this in a minute and a half here. Get her beneath the gills. Zero skill out. Amateur. Okay, zeroed out. 4.8. 4 freaking 8. New PB. Oh my god. Okay. I want to get back in the water. I'm gonna give her a quick dunk. I'm gonna get a picture with her. Oh man. I'm so stoked. Alright, I gotta end this clip and start a new one. Oh man. Alright guys, just want to give you guys one last look at her. 4.8. Big Bertha, baby. Oh man. Oh yeah. Alright. Okay, let me get you back, girl. Literally caught her right over here at the rattle trap. Thumped it. Wasn't even recording. But my god, girl. What's this? What's going on? Oh, it's been a catfish line. Watch out for that. I don't even care about that anymore. Get off me. Alright, girl. back in the water. Inch nice and moist off. Okay. Whenever you're ready, you just go on. Oh yeah. Healthy as can be, guys. Oh, a new PB. Oh, what's today? Like, what I don't even know today is. I gotta calm down. My phone is all messed up. My hands all. Wash my hands off. Whew. Guys, my adrenaline is pumping. 4.8. Oh my god. Oh, during the rainstorm, haven't caught a thing all day. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, you see that? Like, look, there's fish busting right over there too. Oh my god, guys. Let's go. Off the old rattle trap. Really yo-yoing this through the dirt. Alright, let's get out there. Let's do this. It's still on there too. 474. I want to call her. She locked out at 4.7. I'm gonna call her 4.7. Either way, that's my new PB. My old PB was like 3.3. Oh yes, I'm so excited. All right, I'm gonna keep this camera rolling because who knows when that's gonna happen again. Oh man, I'm so glad I turned on that rattle trap. Oh man. Clear that out just in case. I'm gonna have the scale ready, guys. I'm telling you, I was literally I was just rolling through. I wasn't even like expecting that, and all of a sudden, boom, my line stopped, and I was like, oh, and I reeled in, guys. I reeled in. I'm telling you, I was just keeping that thing right above the wings. Oh my god! I was just yo-yoing it, and I was just reeling in for retrieval. And freaking kapow! Oh, Big Bertha freaking came up and stomped my line. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm filming this video kind of backwards because now we're at the end of the video, and I didn't actually film an intro for this video because this video is kind of short. It was kind of a fun day fishing. I took my camera out just in case I were to catch something big, and I did, and I caught my new personal best today. 4.7, guys. 4.78. Solid 4.7. Big behemoth on a rattle trap at this pond that I've only fished a couple times. It was probably, this was like the best day, and that was my new personal best of 2020, and it's like early April, so it's not really bed fishing around here in the south yet in like North Carolina, because we probably won't see that for like another like couple weeks until like mid-April-ish. But still, it was so awesome to catch that today. Like I said, I didn't film an intro because I'm probably going to put this at the end of the video that I'm working on now. I'm working on a catch and cook video right now. Try to get this edited, try to get it put out to you guys, so you guys have some dope content to watch while this quarantine time. But, whew, oh man, I'm still like, whew, I'm still shaking out today. Again, and I'm gonna apologize for the audio in advance because it started to pour down, and I had the GoPro mic, and the GoPro mic just sucks. Like the regular audio inside the GoPro just sucks. And I just had that because it was raining. I didn't want to ruin my new mic. And I rewatched the clips while I was out there fishing, and I apologize for this wind noise right now. But I rewatched the clips while I was out there fishing, and it sounded very boxy. But anyway, you can tell what I'm saying. You can see the fish, and that's all that counts. So I apologize for that audio in advance. Hopefully this audio sounds better because I have my new mic plugged in. All right though, but you guys got to get out there and do something on this quarantine times. Can't say it's cooped up inside. I tell you what, because I went out here, people at the parks, people having fun. You can still get out with your family, with your friends, loved ones, or even by yourself. Do a little self-quarantining and go fishing just whenever you want. And check out new spots. Now's the perfect time to, try out new tactics. I tried out a whole bunch of new tactics that I never really do, but in the end, I was like, let me just throw this trap because it's a good bait to throw in the grass. You can just rip it right through, up and down. You can yo-yo it, which is exactly what I was doing. And like I said, I thought I got snagged, and then all of a sudden I pulled up that 4.7. But like I said, get out, do something fun. Don't go crazy at home. Make yourself fun during these crazy times. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, I'm gonna try to get out and fish as much as I can. Of course, I don't want to put up like random content of me like not catching anything. I still want to put out good content for you guys. But if you guys want to see other content, let me know down below. I'm trying to go catfishing as much as I can. I went catfishing today. Didn't catch anything. I've been catfishing a couple of days ago and actually caught my new personal best catfish on a little mealworm, snapped my line. Of course, I didn't have my GoPro with me. And I was like, that's not happening today. I'm taking my GoPro just in case. I'm so glad I did. Whew! Thank you, Lord, for letting me have this GoPro. My goodness. Alright, guys. But I'm going to get out of here. The wind's kind of picking up. Clouds kind of coming in. I think a storm's about to come in. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like that button and subscribe if you want to. Just a little button down in the corner. Click it from red to gray. Hit the bell notifications. That way you can always see my content if you guys would like that. But anyway, yep. Appreciate you guys viewing. Alright, let's get out of here. Peace.